Strategist strike, ranked is in shambles, dive meta is in full force, players are bored, and much, much more. It is safe to say that Marvel Rivals right now in this current state is the worst it's ever been. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving my opinion about all of it. If you enjoyed this video, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And as always, I appreciate you for your time. To start things off, I'm going to address the horrible direction they've taken ranked and why it is directly impacting this strategist strike thing that's going on. And side note, I completely thought this was bullshit. If you don't know, the way the rank system currently works, the better the game thinks you did, the more points you're going to earn when winning, and the less points you're going to lose when you lose. Now, on paper, this sounds pretty good. You know, if you perform the best on your team or in the game, you climb faster. If you perform the worst, you drop lower, and eventually you'll equal out into players of your skill level. Really easy. You just lock your main, go 40-1, maybe heal 50,000 damage, maybe block 60,000 damage. You know, you go from bronze 3 to GM2 in 4 games. It's wonderful. However, this isn't how it works allegedly. The problem is the system heavily favors those who get, let's just say, more elims, more final blows, things like that. I wonder what role that is. This causes Vanguards to typically earn less, and strategists, that's even double worse for them. Now, why is that? That's because raw healing numbers and raw damage blocked, or deaths that you don't take as Vanguard, or assists that you get on strategists, you know, these core things that is important to playing the role, doesn't seem to be weighed in this arbitrary, invisible, anonymous system that they have judging how we're performing in our matches. In short, Vanguards and strategists don't get credit for doing their fucking job. Which leads me to the strategist strike. Now, like I said, dive meta is in full force. It's here, it's hot, it's heavy. We're talking Hulk, Cap, Spider-Man, fucking Iron Fist. You know, they're all here to play. Maybe the random Black Panther every now and then. Magic, they're all here, right? Which is very interesting because we have some pretty strong anti-dive counters in the game. Now, considering what I said about the issue with ranked in the system and it being a dive meta, right? And consider how typically the easiest target is the support role character or the strategist or whatever you want to call them, right? Mix all this together and yeah, nobody wants to play the role. Couple that with some comments that are rather loud and, dare I say, important voice within the Marvel Rivals community made about strategist players. You know, they feel disrespected, underappreciated, undervalued. Yes, I'm talking about Necros. Now, for context, I don't know everything he said. I have caught bits and pieces and seen things on, you know, TikTok or even a couple things just passing by his streams. And while I see it as just banter, he's just, you know, talking shit. It is what it is. A lot of people took this to heart, and yeah, they're rolling with it. They're running with it. However, what I can say wholeheartedly, confidently is he has made comments disrespecting or lessening the value of the role. I can say that. Last little bit I want to touch on before I get into my final thoughts about everything. You know, you'll oftentimes hear streamers joke about how, like, you know, they're not a part of some secret organization that controls the game from the shadows. They don't secretly, you know, tell the devs how to balance their own games, etc., etc. While obviously that's true, I do think they downplay the amount of power they have. They don't really realize that whether it's 20,000, 100,000, a million subscribers, followers, whatever you want to call them, you have a large portion of the player base who listens to you and believes you and to some degree idolizes you. Now, while everyone might not know who Necros is, if you play Spider-Man, you know who Necros is. The same way that if you play Doctor Strange, 9 times out of 10, you probably know who Boger is. So it's like, they have more pull than they think they do. And what I mean by that is, while we may not all agree with Necros, there are probably a large portion, if not all, of the Spider-Man community who, like, hears what he's saying and thinks to themselves, you know what, I agree. Yeah, that Cloak and Dagger last game, that Luna, that Loki, yeah, fuck them. They lost because of them. I just think it's very bad, and you lack self-awareness if you don't understand how much following and how much power you have from that. For instance, you know, one of my favorite creators, Flats, he's pushing 1 million subs on YouTube, and that's amazing, you know, good for him or whatever. But that 1 million, that's larger than GM, Eternity, One Above All combined. So my point being that some of these creators have followings larger than entire player bases. That is powerful. That is powerful. Your reach, obviously they're not all in GM, like all of Necros's followers aren't going to be in GM, but they are diverse and spread out through all of the ranks. So like that, and multiple creators, like you see, I'm going. It gets infectious, like that. Their gospel, their reach, it's through all the ranks. Is my point, and I just think it's funny that they downplay how much power they really have. Now, even if you want to sit here and disagree with everything I've said thus far, what you can't disagree with is the fact that to some degree, you're at least giving these guys validation. If you have Necros, a top 500, one of the pros, and not even just Necros, any of them. If any of these dudes share the same opinion as you, you're giving validation to their claim. If you have a bronze player who thinks Rocket's meta, then out of nowhere, J3's like, you know what? Rocket's actually pretty meta right now. Yeah, then that bronze player is going to think that they're fucking Jesus Christ in himself, and they're going to think that they know everything and know all. So if Necros is out here saying, supports kind of suck, and you have your average Spider-Man player thinking himself, I kind of think supports are pretty bad right now. Boom. Now he validated his claim that supports are bad. You're validating all of these incorrect and wrong opinions. Now, here's my closing thoughts, my overall thoughts on everything thus far, right? As far as this current meta goes, metas come and go. This one will pass just like all the others. Yes, the rank system currently is terrible. I do not see it lasting past season 2, and honestly, the devs have been really good at receiving community feedback, so I see them changing it in the near future. And then lastly, to the strategists, but to everybody, but mainly the strategists in this case, this game was made for fun. Video games are made for fun. They're made for your enjoyment. Despite all of our differences and disagreements, we all can agree that we play this game because it's fun and it's a fun way to spend our free time. Limited free time, might I add. With that being said, you cannot let these people who have no impact on your life whatsoever affect you and how you play and what you do. Because all that's going to happen is you're going to queue up, perform poorly, and you're going to make your already horrible experience even more horrible. You cannot let comments affect your life this much. Now, I'm not saying you can't take time to learn other characters and competitive, like that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is the people who are using that as an excuse to queue up and play characters that you have little to no time in, no experience on, you're ruining everyone's experience. Your experience, your teammates' experience, the Vanguard player who has nothing to do with any of this, you're ruining our experience. Do not let these comments get you down. And I'm not trying to downplay anyone's like feelings or whatever with what I'm about to say, but we all get it. All roles get it. Tanks are called brain dead. DPS are called fucking useless and ass at the game. Supports, you guys see what you're getting. Shit, tank is the least popular role and jokingly always gets talked about as being removed from video games. Like, we all get it. It's just the culture. Thank you all for watching the video thus far, and if you've taken anything from this video, just take this. Do not play games to lessen other people's experience. Use it to heighten your own. How you go about doing that? Well, that's a test of your character. Develop some thick skin, queue up, play your favorite characters, and just have fun. Thank you all for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.